got it out for the aesthetic. That just proves to me that you don't know what you're doing with it at all. Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. And you're gonna get carried. There she goes, there she goes. Okay. Welcome or welcome back. I've got big headphones on today because I feel like absolute death. My eczema's flared really bad, so I can't use earbuds, and I also have an ear infection. So I thought today we would look at Mackie and Amanda. Also, if I look tired, I don't even know how many days into a fatigue flare, so we're just rolling with that at this point. Also, the SAS mug is dirty, so we are rolling with the Aquarius mug because I'm an Aquarius. That probably means absolutely nothing, but it is what it is. So today I thought we would check out Mackie and Amanda. I wanted to look at their most popular video, which technically is Sam and Colby, but that's because it's Sam and Colby, and that's a whole level of BS that I'm not prepared for today. So the most popular one with them on their own is the Conjuring House, which isn't really much of a surprise. So let's get started with this one.
Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Amanda Ray. This is Tyler Ray. I'm so glad you're here because I'm terrified to be here alone.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Are you really?
You know, as exciting as it can be.
I understand that because we are at the infamous Conjuring House, which inspired the most successful horror movie franchise possibly in the world. And I think a lot of that is because of not only the violent haunting that took place in this home for the Perrin family, those owners, but every owner following it. What brought this case so much notoriety is the psychic and the demonologist who came and played a part trying to help clear the home, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Here's a few things that I definitely want to get to the bottom of. Specifically, and you know this one, the birthing room upstairs.
Oh, definitely.
When Sam and Colby came here alone, I'll never forget this because I was happily filming in the Roosevelt in Los Angeles and I got a phone call from them. So I answered the FaceTime and I'll never forget, they walked into the morning room and there was sand all over the floor and my name was written in the sand. I'd like to think that a staff member maybe wrote our names in the sand, but there was no footsteps leading up to it and it was in the middle of the sand.
I mean, really, it was like a square of sand, and it wouldn't be that hard to walk out and just like the sand as you're walking backwards so that there's no footsteps. But okay, since we're paused here anyway, I have strong feelings about the Warrens, which is a shame because the Warrens, like for most people, the Warrens were my gateway into the paranormal, and I also really struggle to believe anything that the Perrin family say. I've listened to like interviews and everything, especially now that they're older as well, and it just seems like fluff. But let's continue.
Bit of a mystery.
Something I want to get to the bottom of, I have had a psychic tell me that it was a spirit, it was not a person, so I would just like to validate that and know what spirit exactly it was and hit a couple more places while we're here.
Say we get after it.
I'm scared. We're in the first bedroom. Belonged to the two oldest daughters, I believe, Nancy and Christine. They didn't really have too many experiences in here that I know of, but I do believe that this right here, one of these two, is the window that Sam and Colby caught that figure of a boy that we had taken a picture of on a camera in an earlier Conjuring video. I can't breathe up here. I'm just gonna get out of here and head straight for there. There was definitely something in that mirror with me when I was walking in. I hate this closet. Why do these exist?
Because it's a good use of space in a home that isn't particularly big. Like, come on.
Those were not there before. Like, animals. But maybe they're new. This right here, this middle bedroom, they say is the most haunted room in the house. It was Cindy and April's room, I believe, and this is where the most violent hauntings took place for the children. Angela and her mom Carolyn were tormented the most out of anyone in the family by this entity that haunted the home. But in this room, I can't imagine, because I grew up in a haunted house myself. Every morning at either 5:15 or 6:15 a.m., this bed behind me would lift up into the air, levitate, I don't know, it was this exact bed, and violently shake back and forth.
Have you got proof of that?
Well, she was surrounded by people who were chanting at her that there were 7 dead soldiers in the wall. And while that is, dead person in the door behind me, gonna ignore that because they just walked in the room with me. They were a white figure, probably about the same height, if not a little bit taller than me, felt womanly. Just want to share, because when I get into an Estes method, I want to ask who that was. The bed violently shaking is not the only notable haunting in here. Many paranormal investigators have laid on this bed, closed their eyes, and they say if you lay there for long enough, dead man behind me, that you almost go into this kind of trance and you're able to hear, see, feel things. So a lot of people will do that in the Estes method. Fortunately, I'm alone, I cannot do that, but I will lay on the bed in the dark and I will see what happens, even though I don't want to. Well, I was looking in this doorway right behind me and I saw with my eyes a little boy, and then I picked up the thermal imaging camera and I looked through and there was no boy on the camera. And I dropped the camera and looked up and he was there. Put it up, finally I snapped the picture, and when the picture developed slowly, you could see the little boy pop up, and that is to date one of the craziest things I have ever captured. So that was in this room.
That doesn't look like a boy to me. Like, I can see the pareidolia effect of it, but it just looks like a smudge or like a slightly warmer spot. Like, there's definitely a shift in temperature there because like there's something over here as well. But she literally just said that he didn't show up on the she literally said that he didn't show up on the thermal imaging, and then she took a picture of him showing up on the thermal imaging. So like, make it make sense.
To date, one of the craziest things I have ever captured. So that was in this room in the Conjuring House, and I think being here alone is definitely gonna stir some things up and maybe bring some more things out.
The bed method.
No, it's 5:16 now. But at 5 something in the morning is always when this bed would shake. So I'm going to leave the light on so you can see me. I'll cover my face with a pillowcase or something so I'm in the dark. Oh, I'm gonna set up some other equipment too for you guys. This is so silly. And maybe it won't work, who knows? But I ended up getting this oil, protection oil. I figured it can't hurt. Hopefully it will help. Like rubbing that all over. I might as well take a bath in this. I just heard a man. Hopefully it will help. Like rubbing that all over. I might as well take a bath in this.
There's so much interference. Couldn't have tried to like isolate the sound a bit more.
Bath in this. I just heard a man downstairs. Swear. On everything. Swear. I hope I didn't hear a man downstairs.
Isn't she with a man? Isn't Tyler there with her? Okay.
This music box that I want to set up, having a hard time if I want to set it up facing this way or this. No, I'm not. This is the room where I caught the little boy in. I'm pointing it this way. And this is the room where we did the taps method. Sam, Colby, me, Satori, and oh my gosh, his name just slipped my mind. He's amazing. Cody and Satori? Yeah, maybe. Amazing. You're gonna know. I'm gonna point it facing this way. And if this thing goes off, I'm gonna be able to hear it. So that's gonna make me uncomfortable. At least the other ones I just see. Okay.
I don't know much about the music box, or like anything about the music box to be honest. But I know that the cat balls, ridiculous. Like, if she even shifts her weight on that bed a little bit, she could set them off. So that's why they use them, but okay.
Well, I'm gonna see if this might go off, but I'm gonna see if there's a blindfold in here I could steal. It could go off. Okay, that's not me. That's not me.
There's no proof that that's not you. You were over that side of the room. I don't believe you. To be honest, I don't.
That's not me. I was in here. I was in here. Oh, well, at least I turned around and I got to see the blankets that I can cover my eyes with. I'm gonna restart.
Also, the second she moved out of their way, it stopped. So, another indication that it was her. I just had to point out we can't see the one on the other side of her.
I already feel like I hear somebody walking up the steps on the right side bedroom. And I feel like somebody just came into the room.
Yeah, because you've blocked off your sight, so now all your other senses are going into overdrive, trying to detect and pick up the other things of your surroundings. So one, there may be nothing at all, and your mind's just reaching, trying to fill in the gaps. Or the house is shifting in the breeze or whatever, and because those old houses, they are noisy, like ridiculously noisy. So it's just the wood settling. You've been walking around a lot up there, so yeah, the wood is gonna shift and settle again.
Pressure on my chest. Now I feel like there are two people in here. I feel like one came from that direction and one came from that first one there.
And the pressure on her chest could just be anxiety from, blocking off her sight.
The first one felt very young, like a young presence. I have no idea who this is on this side. Also feels like someone is lightly brushing my ankle. If there are any spirits in here, or any spirits upstairs in this Conjuring House, could you make a knock, a tap, a noise of some sort? Okay, I feel like I just heard something downstairs. If that was you at the bottom of the stairs, can you come up?
Why is she acting like she's alone when she's already introduced Tyler? Are we just supposed to forget about Tyler?
There's someone in here. I can literally hear like them breathing next to my ear. Still cannot breathe. Just an update. Thought it would pass. If there's anyone in here with me, I have 2 cat balls set down on either side of the bed. Could you come up and set one of those off? I hear something.
That was a singular click. I wouldn't have said that was footsteps. Also, wood settling, old house.
You can sit down on the bed, don't touch me. You know, you have a habit of grabbing people. Are you just pacing around the bed?
Surely if they have a habit of grabbing people, you try to lean into that. If I can get a spirit to, drag me off the bed, that's all the paranormal evidence I need,
Again, 2 cat balls on either side. You can set them off. Any point.
Unless she can see, how does she know that they haven't? She keeps banging on about it like they haven't been setting them off, and they haven't, but how did she know that? It's just how she's phrasing it seems a bit strange. I wonder if she phrased it like that if they had been set off.
They'll light up and it'll just let people know that you're here with me. God, this is so scary in the dark.
Oh, come on.
I heard growling.
That was the wind.
God, this is so scary in the dark.
Yeah.
I heard growling.
When I could see the text on the screen, it's kind of sounded a little bit like growling, but if you listen to it with your eyes closed so you don't get the suggestion put in your brain, it's just like the wind just picks up a little bit more.
I know that this was daycare. In fact, there's a chalkboard in the next room. I feel like I could hear someone in the next room on the chalkboard, which I know sounds crazy. Could you set off either of these cat balls?
Again with the cat balls.
I'm only gonna stay about 1 more minute laying down in the dark like this because I'm about to panic. So the next 60 seconds is your chance. I'll stay completely silent. Now's your chance. Speak into the camera on the table over there or set off these devices. Make knocks, taps, anything. Just don't touch me.
Doesn't sound like a whisper to me.
15 more seconds.
Honestly, I'm being blasted with so much static. It's hurting my ear.
That was terrifying. Okay, one of the things they say is that you can feel somebody laying down on the bed next to you, which I never felt, but I did hear, and I felt like I could almost feel, it's an old house, so you can feel the floor creaking. I felt like, okay, I'm glad both these were on, don't know if they went off. Glad I won't know until later. But they say that you can feel somebody lay down in the bed with you. Well, I didn't feel that. You can hear people walking around, and because the house is so old, you can almost feel the floor creaking. Never heard the music box go off.
But with the amount you've been walking around in that room, the floor would be settling after you laid down. So it's just the floor settling, and it's not people walking around. Also, where's Mackie? Is this too old for Mackie? I don't know. I thought they did it together. Oh no, alone. But she's not alone. She's with Tyler.
The first room that we're gonna start out in for this video, Ty, is the birthing room. Just because of what happened there last time, and I've never done a full investigation in there, so I feel like this could be pretty gnarly, and maybe we can get some answers on why my name was written in the sand, what they wanted, or what we can do. Did you see?
What they wanted was a good plot point for the Sam and Colby video, and that was Sam and Colby and not the spirits.
This is the birthing room. I already can't breathe over here.
I know, I'm a little nervous. Everything in the house is just so small
That's
and
new.
uncomfortable. What is that? Oh my gosh.
Like a little offering
There's a
table.
can of Zen.
Or-
Oh, it's freezing in here.
Ooh, yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Get her in the
Watch
room.
your head. Lots of inhales.
So the birthing room, like we said, this used to be covered in sand, and all of a sudden the last time that Sam and Colby and I came back, the sand was completely cleared out.
Was there any reason for that?
Not that we knew of, no. I think it might have been, and this could be wrong, but in between selling the house, so it went from the Heinzen family, like Corey and his wife, to the new owners, who I haven't met yet.
I see.
So maybe that has something to do with
And
it.
you
New
don't want
caretakers, who knows? And Sam and Colby and I have kind of been going off the basis of, because of those 7 dead soldiers that have been buried in the walls, they needed help to cross over.
Is there any proof to these 7 dead soldiers? Or is this just complete speculation? Or complete fiction?
That was what we were working on, but being here completely, like just the two of us, I feel like using a spirit box, maybe we just ask them what they want. I'm gonna set up the flashlight. I'm just gonna ask, if there's a spirit here who's able to manipulate this, can you turn it off, please? All the way off? I wasn't even sure I had it in the right spot.
Right, so you've just proved that you have to use one of those flashlights to get it in the right spot.
Yeah. I'm speechless. That's insane.
Well, I'd say something is definitely here with us. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on the spirit box. We're just gonna see what we can get. The flashlight turned on right when we turned the spirit box on.
Could just be
Hello?
timing.
Who remembers how bad it was? Lots of them.
Yeah. Something about can
Yeah.
you remember?
A conversation. We just want to have a conversation with you. Maybe one of you could come through at a time.
Are we getting an Umber pause session this time? Last time we had Kari pauses, and this time we got Umber pauses. Not that you can see Umber, but we got an Umber time. Say hi, baby. Say hi. You gonna come cuddle? You're more the cuddly one. Oh, Kari's getting jealous. Kari's just playing it off as if she wants food. Are you settling here? No, you don't want to. Okay. You just want to hang around. Okay, you can do that. You can do that. Yeah, you can. But you're not having your butt in my face the whole time.
Can you do that? Can you designate someone?
I can.
Yeah. Alright, you that sounded like a woman too, huh?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Kids. There were a lot. This was the boarding room. I was gonna say, do you know what this room was used for? Kids. And it was a school, like a daycare. Did you stay here at this house? I have before. Isolated. Have you been in this room that we're in before?
600 or 6 times.
Or 1600s, which is when the house was built.
Interesting.
Did you give birth here? Dead? Revenge? Her? Revenge?
Sure.
Avenge her? Amanda? Did you just say my name?
It sounded like Mandy to me.
It's not scanning particularly fast. Like, it's slow panning. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a lot faster than that. So they've got it panning slowly on purpose so that they get more words. Like, it's radio station, so what do you expect? There's going to be like words and phrases and sentences. It's supposed to be scanning so you can't hear that, so that if you do get something come through, it's more likely to be something paranormal.
This room's special to you.
We died in here. That's it. No, it's not at all. It's bad.
Do you know who Amanda is?
We do. Did somebody here write my name in the sand? It sounds different. Corrupted, almost. I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on because that was really weird. It's never sounded like that. Are you still here with us?
And now it's panning so much faster. So they stopped getting the hits that they were looking for, so they've changed the settings and played it off of, it sounds corrupted. To me, it didn't sound any different, but maybe that's just me.
Do you know about my name being written in this sand? You are what?
I don't know, but the last one said, I don't know. It's definitely 2 people. One younger, one with a deeper voice.
Can we have one of you speak at a time, please? Okay. It's me. Flashlight. Amanda, that one was clear. And a man's voice.
Having Amanda as a name on a spirit box is okay. On average, on the radio, how many sentences do you think contain a man, not Amanda, just a man did whatever, said whatever, regardless of the context of the sentence? How many sentences on the radio contain a man that they can use to misconstrue? Oh, it said my name, it said Amanda. No, it didn't. It was just some guy talking on the radio about a man. I am 24 minutes into this video and I am so over it. Do I have to go to the end? Okay.
It was the soldiers.
Was it?
That's what we came to the conclusion of.
Well.
So it was the soldiers.
Right, I'm actually gonna look up. I'm bored, and I'm the sort of person that needs to do 2 things at a time. So I'm still gonna be listening to this crap and jutting in when something is relevant, but I'm actually gonna be looking up whether these soldiers have any basis in fact, because I personally don't know, and it's gonna keep me slightly more engaged than whatever the hell is happening right now.
Can you tell me your name?
Lewis.
I heard that too. Lewis, were you a soldier? I heard demon get out.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Alright.
Yeah.
we'll leave.
Uh-huh.
Do not follow us.
The next hotspot of the Conjuring House that the lights are flickering in the next room that I really wanted to hit happened to be right outside of the basement. This story is gonna sound familiar. When the parents finally decided to call Ed and Lorraine Warren to have their home exorcised or blessed or...
I just paused because I was like, did the parents call the Warrens? But yeah, I think they did. I think I'm getting my houses mixed up. But anyway, let's continue.
Honestly, to have these experts come in and try and save their family from this entity, things got violent very quickly. And while they were in this next room over there, about 20 feet away from me, there was Ed, Lorraine, the parents, Mr. and Mr. Perrin, and 2 videographers and 1 more psychic. So 6 people total, math check me. And as the oak table started to shake, they realized that Carolyn Perrin, for lack of better terms, looked like she became possessed. Her eyes rolled back, her body was contorting, and at the same time as this oak table rising, they were trying to deal with that, they were trying to deal with this possession that was happening. And of course, Mr. Perrin ran straight over to Mrs. Perrin to try and help her, and Ed warned him, you cannot touch her, because if you do, you risk the chance of transferring that demonic entity into you. And in the midst of all this chaos, poor Mrs. Perrin was levitated into the air and thrown so hard from that room up against this stone mantle fireplace behind me that they actually thought she had died. The door just opened. Mr. Perrin ended up punching Ed Warren in the...
No, I don't think I'm mixing my houses up. As for the 7 dead soldiers, there is no credible proof of that. I didn't think that there was. Oh my god, I just had the best idea. I could build, like, because obviously I do Sims as well on Saturdays. I used to do it on Fridays and now I tend to upload day. But I could build, like, the Conjuring House and tell, like, the actual story, not all of this, like, skeptical bullshit that these mediums like to put on the place. I could do, like, Amityville and the Conjuring House and, like, any location and tell the actual real story that I can find from, obviously do my best with, like, the information that's out there. That could be really cool to do as a series. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I heard that because I get all my lore gets much jumbled up in my head, so I'm not sure like which Warren case is which, like on the spot, but I'm pretty sure in the house where there was a fight, the husband punched Ed, which would be this one, they didn't actually call them and the husband didn't want the Warrens there, so I'm pretty sure it was the Conjuring House where the Warrens just showed up and the parents didn't actually call them for help. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going.
Banished him from this home, never returned his phone calls, returned to sender every single letter sent by the Warrens here. The Warrens actually showed up to the home to make sure that Mrs. Perrin was okay, and they wanted nothing to do with the Warrens at this point, so unfortunately, that's kind of where their story ended, but
I'm sorry, but if my wife nearly died because of the Warrens' bullshit, I would also not want anything to do with them. Like, I feel like that is a pretty reasonable response. I'm not saying that she's saying that it's not, but, like, I still feel like that's a pretty reasonable response.
I thought, if I'm gonna hit a hotspot in this house, it might as well be where Mrs. Perrin hit the wall because of this entity. So I thought I'd sit down and ask some questions specifically about the haunting of this home, the equipment I want to use, pretty much bring out everything. The REM pod I'm gonna set up right on the mantle. Let me reset it. Oh, that's not me. Let me reset it again. That's not me.
That literally was you.
Can you see that? Can you make it go to purple, please? Light up all different colors. You're almost there. Just put a little more energy into it.
It seems pretty regular. As I say that, I go nuts.
I'm gonna reset it again.
Yeah, reset it.
Okay. Once is an accident, twice. Oh my gosh! Is there any chance that you can please step away from that REM pod to confirm that it is a spirit, in fact, that's setting it off? Step over here with me.
I would say that that's not a good place for the REM pod. There is something there that most likely isn't a spirit that is setting it off. So you need to find a different place or rule that out as a thing that you can use to investigate with.
Okay, I set the range so it is as close as you possibly have to get to the REM pod for it to get set off.
Yeah, it's just being quiet for its reset time. And then it's going off again. Something about that fireplace is setting it off.
Can you make it go to green, please? It's hit all the colors. It's at purple. What is that saying? That's like once is a coincidence, or like once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. I don't even know what 4 times is. Undeniable proof.
I would say the 4 times is your evidence is contaminated and you need to move it. If it was happening, like, move it to the other side of the room. See if it still happens.
I'm gonna set up a cat ball. I haven't even asked a question. That thing has gone off so much.
Well, that just proves how uneven the floors are.
Well, it rolled all the way, so it actually, this is touching the mantle as well, just barely, but it is touching the brick. If something was setting off that REM pod, can you set off the new device that I've set onto the floor right here? It's called the cat ball. You can just go up and touch it. There's a spirit here with me.
Why did she start mucking about with the REM pod again? Like, it's quiet. She left it all alone for like 30 seconds and then picked it all up. Why do these people, like, if you're gonna leave things out for evidence, you gotta leave it longer than 30-60 seconds. Like, it's not gonna be instant. It's like, if it's not instant and it doesn't have that wow shock factor, then they're just like, nah, get rid of it.
I just want to ask a few more questions. But that was crazy. The most active the REM pod was where I feel like one of the most violent things happened. Okay, this is very...
I have a question. I don't know much about the range. I don't think I would know much about the range of these REM pods without actually physically having one and being able to test it out. She said that she had set the range to as close as it had to be. Could she have set the range as wide as it possibly could be, so it was actually her sitting there that was making it go off? I mean, I'm sure there could have been something else that she was doing that was making it go off, or even maybe something that Tyler was doing that was making it go off, because like this looks like maybe an external door. It might not be. I'm not sure about how this house is set up, but that looks like a window, so this looks like an external door, which means theoretically, again, it's brick tends to be more of a barrier with this sort of stuff, but theoretically maybe he could be the other side of this fireplace doing something. Possibly not. I'm not saying that that's a definite, it's just speculation. But Amanda is definitely a lot closer, and you know, we do know that she's got her phone in her back pocket for most of this, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Or maybe the battery was low and it was just wigging out and she's changed the battery or something. Maybe she knew the battery was low, or maybe she didn't know and she believes all this crap and she just changed the battery and now it's silent. You know, we don't know, it's just speculation.
Weird. I have a pendulum. I got it You're still there? Could you make it go to green or purple if you're still around? If
No, I mean,
this is the entity
her phone's on the floor right there.
that threw Caroline Perrin against the wall,
Is it locked? It might be locked.
could you please step away from the REM pod?
It looks like there's notifications on it. Like on the lock screen, and then you've got the bubbles down below where your notifications stack. I think she's doing it with her phone.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, the phone screen is on there. I want a moment where it's silent. Oh no, her phone screen's still on there.
Something was setting off that REM pod. Can you set off the new device that I've set onto the floor right here?
It would have been interesting if her phone screen was off here, but it's not. It doesn't mean it's not the phone. It could be that she's got the phone screen on the whole time so that people can't notice that when the phone screen's on and it's getting notifications, that's setting this off. And then when it's black and it's not getting notifications, it's not going off. That could just be a consistency thing.
So I'm closest range again.
Yeah, but the fact that you have to keep resetting it to make it stop makes it seem like it's not a spirit or anything. It is, something's wrong with it.
If the entity that harmed the Perrin family is still here, can you tell me up and down, or forward and back for yes, left to right for no, or in circles for maybe? I don't know if you guys can see it from there, but it is strong circles. If the entity is here, can you set off that device behind me?
So, okay. So personally, I'm into the woo-woo shit. But my personal experience with it is that it's more like spicy psychology. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to view it that way, but that's how I view it. So yes, I do use tarot cards and pendulums and crystals and all that sort of stuff. But I even work with entities sometimes. But that doesn't mean that these things actually exist outside of myself. I am very sort of fluid, open, and I guess sort of like a spiritual theorist, if you will. But I, with my practice or whatever you want to call it, I am very much, okay, how does this external thing relate to me and could help me grow as a person? So, all of that being said, there was a whole lot of information I might not even keep in. But with pendulums, and this is where the argument comes in, because a lot of people don't understand how the divination tools work. They're all like, oh, but it could be micro movements. Yes, that's the point. The point is obviously you try and stabilize, with the pendulum specifically, you try to stabilize your arm enough that you can't move. Like, it's not like you're doing this and you're waving your hand around. So you try and like bridge your arm as much as you can, but obviously you're still going to have micro movements and little shakes. And you could ask like calibration questions, like things you know the answers to. So you'd be like, am I wearing a green jumper? And then it would if it's working correctly, it's supposed to swing yes. And then you ask it like, I don't know, am I wearing a purple jumper? I don't know why I'm going for the jumper route, but I am. And then it would swing no. And then that's how you know that it's like calibrated. And then you can ask questions that you don't know the answers to. Is it 100% accurate? No. Should it be taken as gospel? No. Is it sometimes a useful tool, especially if you're working with like your own subconscious? Yes. It could be a great tool to work with your own subconscious because your subconscious mind does know the answers. It's just getting from back here to up here. It's bridging that gap. Is it useful in something a bit more like this? No, probably not. And especially not if you're just doing it for 30 seconds and it's like, oh my god, it's spinning in a circle. I'm going to put it down now. You got it out for the aesthetic. That just proves to me that you don't know what you're doing with it at all.
Okay, my last and definitely least favorite room that I have to go into tonight. I have to get this out of the way first, right?
Am I the only one that's not scared of basements?
I'm trying to remember the story, but there was a picture of an entity caught back here that was absolutely horrifying. Oh, just back here feels so heavy on my back. Oh, I forgot about this entire set of stairs. Look.
Look, you're actually in the ground.
Snake skins. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Something just touched my hair right behind me.
Yeah, don't worry, it's just the spiders.
She's tripped. I'm gonna set up some equipment. Turn on the lights. I just feel like someone's following me.
Yeah, if you're in paranoia.
And,
Most likely.
hello? It sounded like someone was walking down the stairs.
Because you just walked on them. They're settling.
Oh, the seance room. Sorry if it looks a little crazy on the table. These are all offerings that people have brought to the spirit that supposedly haunts the basement. There are so many different spirits down here, but the one that everybody reports is the crooked-necked lady. She actually is so infamous that when this place was a daycare, there's a toy chest that was here before the, not previous owners, but the last owners purchased the home, and they found it in the basement. So kid's toy chest, and the drawings on the inside of it have a woman with a crooked neck. There's a legend. This is not confirmed to be true at all, but a previous landowner's wife, I believe, herself in the barn on the property and was found afterwards and unfortunately wasn't able to be saved. Something just touched my back. Swear on Bo. My back is to the freaking well, which is terrifying because that's where everything comes out of, they say. But anyways, that is the legend of the crooked neck lady. Unconfirmed. Who knows if it's true.
The crooked neck lady gives me the Haunting of Hill House vibes. Probably no connection, but that's what it made me think of.
Actually have notes because there is some false stuff. Other than the basement being riddled with spirits, there is one spirit that is the most infamous in the Conjuring House, especially the basement, and that is Bathsheba. Bathsheba was a woman who lived in town. There's no record of her ever living in this home. There's a lot of misinformation out there surrounding her. I just want to say that this stuff has never been proven. Bathsheba never lived here, was not a witch. She actually received a proper Christian burial, so I don't know where that came from. And there is no evidence, dead person behind the camera. Just walked down the stairs. I don't know if you heard that. Just walk. And around the corner. I'm gonna set up the music box here in a second. And Bathsheba was known and exiled for taking the life of an infant with a needle to the back of the head. And again, no evidence of this ever happening. Yet Bathsheba is the one who is said to haunt the Conjuring House. So I want to see what's coming out of that freaking well, what's in this basement, and what scared me so bad the very first time I came here with Sam and Colby that I could not stay.
While she does promote a lot of misinformation and a lot of vague speculation, I do want to give her props for at least attempting to debunk the Bathsheba thing, because Bathsheba did not deserve all the crap that's been made up about her. So again, props where it's due, I guess. There's gonna be a lot of noises. Yeah, because you're in the basement in an old house.
If there are things in here and they're ready to communicate, could you make a loud knock or turn this flashlight on? I don't know that I have it in the right spot, so that one might be difficult, but I'm hearing stuff in the hall, but the music box is not going off. Why are you not doing this for me? Are you able to turn that flashlight off?
Or the flashlight that you've had to
When I know
tamper
you're
with
here
like
with me.
15 times to get it in the right
Amazing,
spot.
thank you.
So that it
I
does
also
it on
have a
its
cat
own.
ball set up in front of me. That's it. Wow, thank you. I'm gonna turn on this spirit box now.
It just so happened to happen as she flicked her hair. It couldn't have been her fingers going off a jumper or anything.
Hello? It definitely just said die. I'm scary. Alright, I would like for one of you to come through at a time, please. If you can do that, say yes. we have two of us. If there's two of you and you can take turns, I'd love to speak to both. The female. What's your name? Coraline? Could you say that again? Was that
Like
it?
Natalie, no. Or Madeline.
Yes, Coraline. Who's the other person who's here with us? They don't want to say their name.
Okay.
It said Lloyd immediately after I said it didn't want to say its name. Its name is not Lloyd. Crystals? I do have crystals on me. Do you know what type of crystal? I have the crystal right in front of me. In the box. Do you want me to use the crystal pendulum to communicate? Do you have a mask on? Did that say run?
Hannah,
You need to calm down. You need to calm down. Bad. Okay, I'm only hearing bad things. I know you're just trying to freak me out because I'm here alone and I'm not going to take that. I've been here before. I've been here tonight. Do you remember what we talked about earlier tonight? Was it you I was talking to? You were calling me by a nickname? Princess, that was the nickname. Seeing? What are you seeing? That was an evil laugh. Laughing. I heard him laughing. What's so funny?
There's a cut. There's no proof they didn't knock that. Or like budge the table or something.
I swear that cat ball moves. Yeah? Did that cat ball just move? Who moves the cat ball? Daisy? I'd like to ask some questions about the well behind me. Would you do that? Yes? I heard so many conflicting answers. I just want to make sure it's okay. That one sounded like no. I heard protection. Haunted. I'm just gonna turn this off for a second because it's distracting me. I'm gonna focus on writing because I have 3 different people here. One woman, for sure, who I believe's name is Daisy. I have that entity that was kind of, oh my god, I just watched it walk behind me on the camera on this side. That scared me half to death. It was tall and it was thin and it was lanky and we have this entity that called me princess, and there's something else that I'm not quite picking up on that's the 3rd thing.
That was 4.
And I think that the 3rd thing is this entity that comes from the well. And I do believe that I encountered it before. If this is a spirit I've encountered before.
That's a bit of a reach.
Does it sound like there's someone above me? You seemed frustrated with me earlier that I was confident. Is that true? Is that because the last time I came down here, I had a much different reaction? I feel like I'm normally the type of person that I just apologize, but I'm not sorry. Could you turn the flashlight off, please? I'd love to ask another question. All the way off.
So you can see it flickering out.
Are you the spirit that haunts the basement?
We don't know how much time is
I
between
thought so.
these flashlight questions and the time it's actually turning on and off.
I know you can't answer this with the flashlight, but I do wish I could know why
It's also
you
going on
pretended
and
like you
off.
were doing me a favor.
with no questions, so it's just timing.
Do you stay here and do you live in this basement? Could you turn the flashlight on if you're trapped down here? Turn it off, please. If you're trapping other spirits down here as well, turn the flashlight on. I have full body chills because I know it's being dishonest. I was trying to come up with your name earlier and I know now it starts with a B. And if you're as confident as you say you were, you shouldn't be afraid to give me the first letter. Does the first letter of your real name start with a B? Are you not willing to talk to me anymore? It feels like everybody left the basement. So I didn't realize this because the room that I was in the basement has literally no windows. So it's not until I headed out when I was like, it just feels like everything left at once. And I decided I wanted to get out of there. That I started walking out of the room and up the stairs, and there's a tiny little window that you saw that I looked out of, and I'm like, oh, the sun's coming up. I got up here and I looked out the window. The sun's coming up. It's pretty much daytime now. And I wonder if that is maybe part of the reason or the reason that all of a sudden the basement went silent. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
I mean, there's absolutely no proof or basis to the theory that paranormal activity only happens at night. If anything, in my own experience, I've always had far more activity around me during the day. But it also, for me, it's mostly when you're not paying attention. So my thoughts on this, well, I do believe that most places have an energy. Well, I believe that all places have an energy to them. Does that mean they are haunted? No. People are energetic beings. Like, we know this. And energy cannot be destroyed. It just transmutes, basically. So, and you don't have to believe this is just what I believe, but I believe that when we exist in places, we are pouring out our energy into them, whether that be positive, negative, neutral, whatever. I do believe that some emotions and some energies are more sticky, I guess, than others, like negative energies, for example, but I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with like the age of a building. I mean, obviously the age of a building might have more activity, I guess, but I think a healthy sense of skepticism is always good. So back to my original point, I like to tangent. Do I think the Conjuring House is haunted? I don't know. Do I think that there could be activity there? Yes, there could be, but I think that most places have a certain level or differing levels of activity. It's just whether you're paying attention to it. Like, a lot of things can be debunked and dismissed, and that is completely valid, but there's always generally that one little thing that you're not quite sure on. I don't believe a word that comes out of the parents. I'm very skeptical of anything that the parents say. I don't believe a word that comes out of the Warrens' mouth, and I don't believe anything that Jacqueline Nunes says. She has proven that she is very dishonest, very unreliable, and probably could do with some medication. The previous owners before Jacqueline, I am probably a bit more likely to believe because they don't really have a stake in it anymore. So while activity may happen in the house occasionally, I don't believe that it's as haunted as everybody claims, especially with how notorious the home is and how many lies and manipulated stories there are around it and about it. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and if you have any video suggestions, please drop them down in the comments. If you have anything else you'd like to say, anything you don't agree with me on, anything I missed, let me know. Just keep comments respectful, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye!